I'm sorry, which part of Lee?
Brown and Lee.
Copy.
Hey, can you tell us what happened? Oh, yeah, sure. Two.
Tape all along the sidewalk. Just go back.
I think they're putting in the police, or the police department downstairs, police department there for the local suspect.
And looking for PRT. Basically what he told SWAT was his boyfriend and a female, once they heard gunshots, they went into the closet, so they're not sure where S1 is.
Jim Collins, Acting Assistant Chief of Investigations, San Diego Police Department. At about 10:45 this evening, U.S. Marshals and San Diego County probation officers were doing a probation compliance check and looking for a suspect at an apartment over here on Meadowbrook. They took one suspect into custody. They believe there was another suspect in a room that had barricaded himself, called for assistance from San Diego police officers. San Diego police officers arrived on the scene. They were inside the apartment trying to contact the person that was inside a bedroom. And they started to force entry into the bedroom. Shots were fired. One officer was hit. They removed the officer from the apartment. A canine, one of the dogs, was also injured by gunfire. He was removed from the apartment also. All the officers evacuated out of the apartment, and we've set up containment on it now. The SWAT team has been over there. They've deployed flashbangs to try and get a response from people inside. After the flashbangs were deployed, 2 people did come out of the apartment, a male and a female. We've been debriefing them now. We still believe that there are 1, maybe 2 suspects still inside the apartment. And SWAT is taking steps now to get them to come out of the apartment.
Do you have any negotiators trying to talk to these people at all, or just SWAT?
We have the emergency negotiations team is on scene, but we have not had any communication with the people inside the apartment.
The man and the woman that were taken out of they are part of it. They are part of it in that apartment. Or
they were in that apartment.
How's your officer?
The officer expired.
Do you know when?
So there were a total of how many people in that apartment? 4?
We got the call.
Cool. 2 again.
I don't have the time. I was at the hospital when he expired.
Can you clarify just how many people were inside the apartment at the time? What you're thinking at this point?
At this point, we've got 3 people out of the apartment. We still believe there's possibly 1 or 2 people still inside the apartment.
And 2 men, 1 female taken out?
Yes.
Sorry?
Do you know, do they live in that apartment?
The first person that was taken out by probation did live at that apartment. That was his address.
Do you know what he was on probation for?
No, I don't.
Were multiple rounds fired?
Yes.
Any idea how old the suspect is, the parolee?
I don't have that information with me right now. No.
Anything you can tell us about the officer?
No. Chief Lansdowne will hold a press conference later today sometime. I don't know exactly when that's going to be.
Were the officers evacuated by firefighters? You were saying they were in an apartment and they were brought out by a window?
Most of the officers exited themselves. One officer was in another bedroom, didn't feel it was safe to come out. Firefighters extricated him through a bedroom window.
Can you just talk about how dangerous a scene this still is? Obviously, you've got a lot of very concerned residents over here. They're wanting to obviously get back inside their home, but of course you want to keep it safe. Can you talk about the situation as it stands now?
Well, obviously right now we believe there are still suspects in there. SWAT is going to take steps to try and get that person out. If the person is still in there and still armed, obviously it is a very dangerous situation.
Do you believe you already have the shooter out?
We don't know at this point.
Are there any children in that apartment?
Not to our knowledge.
Have you recovered a weapon?
No.
Was it a marshal or a San Diego police officer who was killed?
San Diego police officer.
Canine officer? Was it his dog?
I'm not going to comment on it.
Male or female officer?
Not going to comment. Chief Lansdowne will give you all that information later today.
How many agencies and officers are on scene here? This seems to be a really expansive scene.
The county probation is obviously still here. They came to serve the initial or contact the initial suspect. U.S. Marshals office were here. San Diego Police Department is the primary unit here. Our E&T team has members of the FBI and Naval Criminal Investigative Service on the team.
That's good. Anything you just want to say? I mean, obviously, when a law enforcement officer goes down, it's a devastating situation. What do you guys, what's the sentiment here at the scene?
Well, obviously everybody is upset about that part of it. We never like to have officers injured, and definitely don't like to lose an officer. But right now, we've got a job to do. We need to get the suspect in custody, and we're focused on that.
Have you had any contact with him? Has he said anything?
Not at this point.
Recap for me one more time. How many people in custody that were inside the apartment? 3?
3 people have come out of the apartment so far.
2 men and a woman?
2 men, 1 woman.
And up to 2 people you believe may still be inside?
Yes.
All right, and I guess kind of a silly question. The dog, the canine unit.
The dog apparently is going to survive. Jim Collins?
Kollins.
No, Collins.
I mean Collins.
Yes.
Captain.
Acting assistant chief.
Is what we're hearing flashbangs being set off in there?
I'm not sure if they're doing flashbangs now or if that's chemical agents being deployed.
Have they been firing shots in?
We fired some other some rubber bullets in to break windows to try and get his attention. We've used flashbangs, and they may be deploying the chemical agents
And
right
he's
now.
armed in there.
Yes.